Love all.
Kwon Jung-dong all stretched out on the other side on the receive. It's Ugo to start it off with the serves, love all.
1 love.
Patient play here, cautious. Not letting the cat out of the bag just yet. He's got the power, Ugo Calderano, but he's going to be specific about when he uses it. What a cover of that elbow. Kwon Jung-dong played a very uncomfortable ball for Ugo. Still, he managed, Ugo, to use the backhand to not cost himself any time or turn. Man, I'm seeing Chinese team members here that I haven't seen this entire week just to watch this match.
1 2.
Nice placement deep into the backhand corner. Kwon Jung-dong getting Ugo Calderano to step around and lean. Now, while Ugo Calderano's strong behind the table, he's going to do everything he can to stay close. Opening spin, that shot, the forehand. Watch Calderano's forehand, what he does to this ball. Slaps it back, sort of a flatter shot. Kwon Jung-dong opens up the table, going to the backhand. Nice long push, surprising. Kwon Jung-dong thought what I thought in that moment, that it was going to be coming shorter to the forehand side, but it was the exact opposite. This is what half long is all about. Cause that hesitation. Make him think he can swing and then leave it uncomfortable. Push, nope. I've got a chance. Do I? Well, not comfortably so. Calderano, job done. And at the first towel break, he's up by 2.
Please off your flash.
A lot of matches to go back and watch. This event has already been star-studded with just blockbuster after blockbuster, including Liang Jingquin and Ugo Calderano.
3 4.
And a taste of his own medicine here. Calderano forced into a more passive receive. It's that hesitation. By the time you've decided, the options have already become less, fewer. Ooh,
5
now.
3.
What a save here from Calderano. The back of the table to rush in and play that shot. Take another look. He was moving the other way, sneaking in for the banana flick. And backpedaled. Tough times here for Kwon Jung-dong.
5 4.
But the best thing you can do is not worry about the past, but create your own future. Soft touch off the bounce and a full forehand inside the table. Kwon Jung-dong playing it like there was no table there to begin with. The power.
4
This
6.
ball almost comes over. A few fast ones in this rally come back into play. A lot happened in that point. Can look at some of it slow spinning from down low. Now the power. Then a forehand to backhand battle. Kwon Jung-dong can hang better than most. Ironic timing for that statement. Just a reminder, in the backhand counter loop rallies, that is. Oh, hugs
4
this one,
7.
wraps around to play it down the line. The upper body, the twist. Watch Ugo on this. Push deep. Leans back over the head to make that one count. See one more time.
Players,
Turning
play.
quickly, side topspin.
Let 4 7. Seven 5.
Too softer with a bit of side spin from Calderano. And then pop goes the weasel. springs out for the big backhand. That's the soft one. Get ready. There's the big one. But quality coming in. Fan Zhendong protects himself well. Second towel break, 2 points between them. Now, the head-to-head you've already heard. 20% of the time, Hugo Calderano's won, but the last time they played, 100%. Hugo Calderano won.
7-6.
Sneaky shot here. Fan Zhendong keeps it shallow on the forehand. Calderano comes in, tries to spin. Nice angle here to see. Not easy to play. Again, using the table as an obstacle, Fan Zhendong jams up Calderano at the back. Last time they played was at the Champions Incheon, so it was the same tier event. Defense strong, but Fan Zhendong stronger in this rally, ties it up. 2 points out of the towel break against serve. Now, typically at this level of play, it's your advantage to have the serve. So that was a really good combination. Pair of points for Fan Zhendong. Clever placement, getting Hugo to pull the right leg back. In this game of hot potato here, where they play the touch shots back and forth looking. At any point, all those balls were attackable. It was just a question of the quality.
7.
We saw the celebration from Wang Hao. At that point, the tension was building with every touch shot that was played. Ooh, manages to make something good out of that tough position. A deep push surprisingly quickly comes in. Calderano, watch one more time. There it is. He had his racket on the forehand side, still managed to open the backhand spin shot. Understandable celebration, the Cholet. Rocket backhand, the power off the bounce here. Fan Zhendong quick to put that one away. Long serve to the baseline. Fan Zhendong was even moving in before he played that ball. Well protected in terms of his ability to adapt. Little break off the net, but a celebration nonetheless. Fan Zhendong, a man who was beaten in their last encounter 4-2, has 2 game points, was trailing 5-7 the second towel break, and at the third towel break, a very different story. That means he's won 5 out of the last 6 points played. Forehand flick does it. Fan Zhendong 11-8 takes game number 1. The defense is out. The high balls come in. Racket turned around. Not yet. And the counter attempted. Waiting to see in these moments. With Hugo, you never know when the ball's going to be coming back. Right into the crossover point. The backhand power. Fan Zhendong never there it is. He turns it and he turns it back in time. He anticipates the counterattack. Amazing.
Love 2.
Just to clarify, if you're a little bit newer to this level of table tennis, the Chinese national team tends to play a heavier, harder forehand rubber. The sponge anyway underneath. It's tackier. The springy side is the backhand side, so they turn it around when high balls come in long rallies.
1-2.
This is the secret ingredient here. Hugo Calderano, back in the day, it was 2018, the World Tour Grand Finals in Incheon. Both times he's beaten Fan Zhendong in a best of 7. Both times he's beaten him, period, have been in Incheon, Korea. Top of the bounce with Ugo behind the table. He's got more ground to cover. Fan Zhendong plays the wide angle. Little surprised Ugo actually continued to play with all the chatter going on in the arena. It's a very polite crowd. Their intention is to say, hey, your flash is on. Let the guys play. And the spin from behind the table. Fan Zhendong secure in that spin game. Ugo's got a lot on the brain all the time, one of which might be that 12 of the last 16 points have been scored by his opponent. 25% is not the percentage of any pie you'd like to get if you're two people eating it. Chop block carries long. For me, the idea was right. The timing was right. It was a shallow spin to the backhand side. Tough ball to play, closed racket. I think it was Truls Morgard we saw against Ugo Calderano, where his racket was almost horizontal, parallel to the table when he did a chop block. Not uncommon for him. Nice scrape from the back of the table, looking for the opening attack. Both players here drying themselves on their sleeves. Backing him up quickly. Fan Zhendong laying down the law by playing it into that uncomfortable spot. People often ask, table tennis players, what are they working out for? What muscles are most important? Well, if you're the fastest person in the world, you're always in position. But in a real-time adversarial sport like this, you can try to do just the opposite and get your opponent out of position. Fan Zhendong does it twice. High ball's coming down. Sky lob just missing. It's a rare occasion to see Fan Zhendong lob down. It was actually Ugo Calderano on WTT's social media years ago who played a really high ball. There's the racket turned around, the red side on the forehand. Fan Zhendong already twiddled back. Ugo's ball came back over the net. Fan Zhendong had 360 degrees of freedom, and still Ugo won the point.
3-7.
Sometimes too many options forces you, puts you into indecision paralysis. From dinner menus to table tennis brands, you can find so many different varieties of rubbers from most of these professional brands. Taking his chances here, Ugo getting aggressive on the counter, but right now, Fan Zhendong setting up quite a secure score line here in the second. Remember, it's a best of 7, a long way to go. Ball kid looking sharp and focused as always.
Nine, 3.
Since yesterday was International Kids Day, I can take my swings now. It's back to normal, kids. Watch out. Speaking of swings here, deep push into the backhand side. Fan Zhendong so crafty, caressing that ball as he guides it with side and underspin to the deep backhand corner. Second towel break and a 6-point lead for Xiaopang. Ooh,
9-4.
brushing, bending backhand, the spin on that. Fan Zhendong's played some creative shots in response to a fair amount of side spin. But that one catching the net post. Ugo just getting some hair out of his mouth. Classic. First time I've seen it actually in all these years. Usually doesn't have much there. To recover and attack. Ooh. Hope he's okay. Interesting to rewatch this fast out of nowhere reaction. Not afraid to take his chances. That wince there.
Fun, please play.
Both players do have an injury timeout,
Off
which
the
is
flash, please.
separate from a timeout.
5-9.
If a player is injured, needs to get assistance, they have up to 10 minutes.
Let. 5-9.
Let for let, showing off that touch skill. We've all seen it. Simone Gauzy got a nice close view of that in Japan. Oh, the answer!
5-10.
My friend is blowing in the wind. That ball is fast and right there for the weather. He weathers this shot whether you like it or not. Fan Zhendong is there, ever present with 5 game points. And finally, a human moment. Ugo Calderano is able to get it deep. Interesting. Fan Zhendong asking for a little table cleaning there. Sweat flying everywhere for the inside the table game. A little bit of sprinkler action from the scalp. And then he goes to dry his hand on the table. Between these two players,
10-6.
Fan Zhendong the less likely to change his shirt. 4 game points left. Right back to where it came from. A long way to go, but 1 point at a time. Ugo Calderano saves the 2nd game point here. 1 parallel, the snap even wider. That backhand is beautiful. Recovered. He sends it back like a frisbee from down near the ground. Ugo back for game 3, 0-2 down. As quick as can be, Fan Zhendong springing into this ball. Crew watching on, Yu Ziyang in the back, Lin Gaoyuan in the front next to his coach Liu Heng. Liu Jichang in the back. The biggest Chinese contingency here right now. Serve gets away, a 2-handed backhand swing after that. Had he won the point this way after that serve got loose, you'd be watching it all over short form content. Doesn't miss by a lot. I'm wondering, they both have timeouts. Of course, Fan Zhendong doesn't need one right now, and neither does Ugo. According to Ugo and Jean-René Mounier, who know Ugo Calderano better than anybody in the world when it comes to table tennis. There's the power.
1-3.
Top edge of the racket, and it doesn't come down. Would be interesting to see if there was some role reversal, though. Nice shallow spin to follow up the deep one. Good combination play. I've talked about how smart players are at this level, how much the brain is processing at once. I don't know if you remember the first time you ever drove a car, but the idea of focusing on anything other than what was in front of you seemed crazy. From under the table, Ugo chops it back, and Fan Zhendong not bothered, covering the wide forehand. Long push. A big point here, a bit of mojo for Ugo Calderano. Maybe remind me of the driving analogy for a towel break.
3, 5.
Straight up spin, the pressure from Fan Zhendong. Nothing too fancy. You know what? They're taking their time right now. First time driving a car, terrifying. You could only focus on the road in front of you. 5 years later, you're driving with your knees, eating the salad that you made, changing the radio station. I'm not saying I recommend that. I'm saying that's how good you are at processing things. It becomes second nature. At this level, table tennis, it's the same. They're already thinking 2 shots down the road. I make this move, he does this, I do this, he does this, and that's where I hit the winner. They know the patterns.
5,
And a tight serve here. Had it come over the net, Hugo Calderano would have turned to play the forehand for a counter. Keep your eyes on it. Heavy underspin. Says, I dare you to put your foot close to the base of the table. Try to creep in and steal the opening attack. Dare accepted. Work down for Hugo Calderano.
Stop. Let.
Ooh.
Fan Zhendong.
Not vertical.
5, all.
Actually, maybe I misread the sign. Maybe it was the height of the toss. If he was showing not vertical, he would have done it off at an angle. So I think it was about toss height. How many centimeters out of the palm of the hand the ball rises? Not how far it falls, how much it rises when you let go. And note taken quickly, Fan Zhendong with a clear higher toss. There's an intensity to Wang Hao on the bench. Forehand flick comes in and Fan Zhendong takes the wide angle, creates an even wider one. Fan Zhendong looking quite well prepared out here in the rally. Second towel break.
6, 7.
Hugo Calderano with variation in the rotation on the serve. Gets the push back long. Take a look. High toss. It's behind the head. A very open face of the racket. But you could surmise there was a lot of rotation on it. That's why it sprang forward. Defensive game turns offense, but Fan Zhendong not bothered once again. Behind the table, Hugo Calderano's strong. But it's been few and far between where he's won the point from that far back in this specific matchup. Fan Zhendong has been impeccable on the attack. Baseline lob sets up the counter-attack opportunity. It's a good time to try and come back in, get aggressive. An even exchange since the towel break, 1-1. Just too quick and right into the middle. Fan Zhendong wears the sweaty shirt well. It's almost like it becomes part of his skin. The opening Chiquita, the heavy side spin, and then the follow-up top spin straight. Right down the line, sprays it around, and it is 4 game points for a 3-0 lead. When you're world #1 for as long as Fan Zhendong was, being in the #4 spot, that's like being moved out of first class to sitting on the wing. And I'm not talking about inside the plane. 6 serving 10.
11-6.
And the world #4, 11-6, takes game #3.
1 low.
Hugo Calderano, what can he do? This is what I like to think when somebody's down. What needs to change? Hugo Calderano, anything he can do to get a quality opening attack. Stay near the table. Easier said than done. Fan Zhendong has been tight with the serves. Quick to step around where he needs.
Love 2.
And he doesn't need to as much as most players in the world because his backhand, when you say best backhand in the world, Fan Zhendong is the first name that comes to mind for most.
3.
Ugo's taking his chances here. Still no timeout called. No reason to take a timeout if you don't think it'll change anything. Maybe no new information needed right now for Ugo Calderano.
4 love.
This is tough. If not now, then when? Here we go. Conversation time with Jean-René Mounier.
4-1.
Now this is what I was talking about with making the opening attack count. Could hear that extra bit of effort here. As soon as the push comes long, Ugo Calderano would give what Quadri Aruno would call 110%. Could come down. Oh man, close to the table. Fan Zhendong in. Left a body mark on the table there, it seemed. First towel break. And 12 of the last 16 points. Momentum for Dongge Xiaopeng. So well prepared. I'm shaking my head with disbelief here. Bruna Takahashi feeling the chills in the room. Since they wrote couple on WTT's social media, I think it's fair to say, hi, it's getting cozy. Oh, the smile, they love it. Yay! With 98% of the fans here being women, they appreciate Bruna Takahashi's heart-melting smile.
6-2.
You know who else appreciates it? This man here, the thrill from Brazil, but in this moment, he's got a lot on his mind and a lot on his plate. His second point here in game number 4. Semi-final, not too shabby for the world number 6 at a champions event. They're the best players in the world. Still, it's been an amazing event for Ugo Calderano. It's not over yet, but it's getting close for Fan Zhendong.
3-7.
Would have been cool to see the chop block that Ugo had prepared on the other side of the net. Oh, it's there, he finishes it. That rally went 2 shots longer than it had any business extending. A chop, a taste of Ugo's own medicine. Fan Zhendong follows it up like Simon Gauzy running into the table. Talk about keeping it cool. Watch this, touch, rip, net, and races in. Fan Zhendong looks back not in anger, but just in, well, disappointment, you could say. Oh, what a touch shot. Oh, my goodness. Forehand flick and rip down the line. What a way to come out of a timeout. Calderano cooking it up. The burners are on. And he's greasing up the pan. The Pan-American man. Damn, that was a lot to say quickly. Big point, much needed. It had been some time after a 3-point streak here for Ugo Calderano. Three points in front and 3 points away from the finish line. Fan Zhendong with a big second serve here. What on earth are we watching? The
6-8.
side spins in this rally. This is not exhibition. This is what you would see with Shushin and Ma Long in the training hall years ago. Side spin galore, a second chop, and the edge of the table from Hugo Calderano, just guiding all that in.
6-8.
Oh, it's spectacular to watch. 2-point game. A little bit of extra time here. Hugo taking his time for extra spin. It's a fine balance, the security in rallies like this. One block. And that big ripping backhand from behind the table, you could hear him roar. 6 of the last 8 points. Hugo Calderano within 1. He knows what it's like to be up 3-0 and have someone take the next 4 from you. He got revenge on that player, Liang Jingquin, earlier today. But this one's too good inside the table. Fan Zhendong puts the pressure on. Fan Zhendong tries the hand to the support of the crowd. Ooh, the contact. It comes off the forehand and goes down. It's raining outside, I'm told, which adds to the humidity no matter where you are. Either way, they're playing in the same conditions, except scoreline. It is 3 match points for Fan Zhendong. Still alive, Calderano sends it to a 3rd towel break. So strong, 3 in a row. The muscle, the twist, the timing. Calderano opens with the spin and never lets go. This is where stamina comes out to play. Ooh, shaking up a bit there. Some buzz on that one. 2 match points saved. Will there be a 3rd? The winner! The quality in this, Fan Zhendong puts it away against some of the best playing we've seen. That rally